let's talk just briefly, because I know about Michelle Bachmann. Because one thing that, going around with everybody there, Michelle Bachmann is crazy. She's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
She's crazy. And I am now of the mind that the worst thing that we can be talking about is Michelle Bachmann being crazy, because she is not crazy in the way that Sarah Palin is crazy. I'm convinced that the reason why Sarah Palin has so little support, even amongst Republicans now, is because she is legitimately crazy. People see her and say, there is a dumb person who thinks that they can be president, and that person is almost definitionally crazy. She's so deluded. She's so deluded. So if you say that Sarah Palin is crazy, you could get even someone who agrees with her views to say, yeah, you're right, because she's
Right.
dumb as dirt and she thinks she can be president. Michelle Bachmann is not dumb as dirt. Michelle Bachmann is a religious extremist. She is a fundamentalist. And when we say that she is crazy, all they hear on the right is, you just think it's crazy to have 5% taxes on corporations. Well, yes, I do, but it's not crazy to them. I'm very concerned that Michelle Bachmann has a significant chance to be our next vice president.
I think the Republicans would love to be able to, put a woman on the ticket. I think that's really meaningful to both parties to do it, and I think they'd love to be the ones to do it. And I think that she's far more likely than Palin, who I don't even think is a serious political figure. I think she's a media figure more than a political figure at this point. But Bachmann is. I think people were kind of surprised at her in the Republican presidential debate, because she was. I think people thought she was going to stand up and start spouting gibberish like Sarah Palin, and she doesn't do that. She
Right.
doesn't speak in that word salad. She's very precise. She's a professional politician, unlike Palin. She really is. She's been doing this for years. She was an activist before that, and has a long history in politics, and knows how to do it. She knows how to present herself in public. Now, her ideas are very extreme. I mean, she's way out at the far edge of the Republican Party, and that's saying something, because they're about as far out
Right.
as they've ever been. I mean, she's way out there. But because she has every signifier on the right. She's got, she's a foster mom. She, with all 27 foster kids or whatever. She's had 5 children of her own. She's a lawyer. She's got the whole religious right thing. She's an anti-abortion zealot. She's a Tea Party icon. She's got the whole picture, and she has created a very interesting meme here. I'll be interested to see how this pans out, because over the weekend, when she was down in New Orleans at the other Republican gathering, and then came up to Minneapolis and gave 2 speeches, and in both of them, she has this new line about Obamacare, in which she's saying that Obama wants to take everyone on Medicare. He wants to destroy Medicare and force seniors into Obamacare. I mean, that's just such an interesting thing, because the
Well, I
truth
know
is
you
that,
want to say it's crazy, and to us, and to our ears, it is crazy.
It is nuts,
but it's crazy like a
imagine
fox.
how that sounds to all these elderly people who voted in last fall's election on the basis of, and Michelle Bachmann has been one of these people. She has never stopped pounding the health care thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is her big issue, and what they ran on was the fact that. And this is how they won, basically, was by pounding on the Medicare cuts in the healthcare reforms.
Right. That was the Medicare Advantage, which essentially was sort of like a private voucher system for private insurance, and it was horribly inefficient.
Yeah, but what the Republicans do is they're trying to take, they're cutting your Medicare. Right. I mean, it was a weird, perverse sort of thing, but it worked. It was very effective in getting seniors to vote for the Republicans, and that's their only possible growing demographic is elderly people, because none of the young people or any of the ethnic and racial demographics are going their way for obvious reasons. So she's come up with this interesting formulation, and when I heard it,
it's brilliant.
The hair on the back of my neck stood up.
It's brilliant.
And what happens to liberals here? How do we explain that? I mean, first of all, oh no, he'll never put you in
Well,
Obamacare.
let's explain this to people, because
oh my
at
God.
first blush, this is a little bit complicated. But what she is suggesting that Obamacare, which basically has two elements, it or three elements, I should say. It imposes certain regulations on the private insurance industry that are very helpful. It then sort of like organizes markets for people who don't have coverage, and then essentially provides Medicare, some form of Medicare for people who don't have coverage as well. And she's arguing that Obamacare, which is to the right in terms of a policy than Medicare is a means in which to destroy Medicare so that she gets her cake and eat it too. She can go out and tell seniors Obamacare, instead of it being a step on the road to Medicare for all, is in fact a step away from Medicare, and it threatens your Medicare. So she gets her cake and eats it too. She criticizes the what liberals would consider a half measure for destroying a full measure in which she doesn't believe in anyways.
Exactly. Well, and in essence, what she's doing is the same thing that Romney and some of the others are doing on jobs, which is coming at Obama from the left, which is, they're so far right they're now left.
Yep.
I mean, that's where we've come. It's actually just it's politics. It's political opportunism, because you can come at Obama from the left clearly, and nobody from the left is doing it, so the right has found an opening there. But it's very interesting, and it's especially interesting because Paul Ryan's plan to destroy Medicare far more accurately resembles what she's saying that Obama is trying to do. In other words, in Obama's I mean, it's not in the specifics, but just sort of in the overall concept, because the healthcare reform, Obamacare, it does give people, quote, vouchers to go and buy health insurance. They get money or tax incentives or whatever to go and buy their health insurance. And that's basically what Paul Ryan wants to do to Medicare. Now, of course, Medicare is the sickest population in the country. I mean, this is the absolute worst place you'd ever want to do that. I'm not in favor of doing it for anybody personally. I mean, I wanted Medicare for all. But it's very interesting that you've got Paul Ryan, coming out with a plan which has been widely derided as being the worst thing. And now people are comparing the Paul Ryan plan to Obamacare and finding the similarities there, and using that against Obama. I mean, it's very confused. And one of the things when I wrote about this was that just as the conversation you and I are having, I mean, listen to us. We have to twist ourselves into pretzels to try and explain why this is insane. Whenever you're in that position, you're in a weak position, because the Republicans have laid this groundwork. Obama's trying to, take away your Medicare. They did it in last fall's election. And it's actually helped the Democrats when Paul Ryan came out with his plan, because there was they're taking away your Medicare. That meme is pounding out there. And now Bachmann is trying to turn it back around, and she has credibility among her people. Now, I don't know.
That's the thing, is that, I used to say that that her response to Obama proved that you cannot talk to both the Tea Party and the American people at the same time and not look crazy to one of them. But she's established her bona fides with the Tea Party so much so that she is now turning to the rest of the country. And I think it's a very dangerous situation. I think that's why, the only way to go at her, and I hope, I hope that the press or the left starts to go at her as an extremist rather than crazy, because if they don't make her address her extremism, which to the right is like, hey, that's normal. She's got to make that. She has to be put on the spot as an extremist. Otherwise, she could slide right through this thing. I think she's the most dangerous candidate out there right now.
Oh, absolutely. And just think about it. I mean, think about I think it's highly unlikely that she can win the nomination. I don't know that. She's a congresswoman. She has, there are limits, I think, even on the right too. I never thought that Palin could win the nomination either. It's just they're not there. But I could see her on the ticket.
If she cuts a deal with Romney.
Well, that would be the dream ticket.
That's exactly
for them,
what
really.
he needs, right? I mean, he needs a fundamentalist on that ticket to say,
he does.
My magic underwear is not, will not come between us.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't even want to think about that.